students. So now backcross. What is backcross? In Mendelian inheritance, the F2 offspring are obtained by self-pollination in the F1 hybrid. But the F1 hybrids can be crossed with either of the two parents or parental types. Such as crosses between offspring and parents are known as backcross. Such crosses between offspring and parents are known as backcross. When F1 offspring are crossed with the dominant parent, F2 offspring develop dominant characters. On the other hand, when F1 hybrids are crossed with recessive parent, individuals with both the phenotypes appear in equal proportion. While both the crosses are known as backcross and the second one is specified as test cross. Okay, so now test cross. The test cross is a cross between heterozygous F1 hybrid and the recessive homozygous. The test cross is used to determine whether the individual exhibiting dominant character are homozygous or heterozygous. Okay, so now here it is the diagram of the backcross and test cross. So in case of backcross, the cross made between tall F1 heterozygous, that means small t, capital T and small t, and tall, that is homozygous dominant, that is capital T, capital T. Now here it is the symbol of female and here it is the symbol of male gamete. Now cross made between them, and now result is gamete capital T small t. Here is gamete capital T and small t, and here is another gamete, that is capital T, capital T. This gamete cross with capital T, capital T. So it is called Punnett square, where we can see the result capital T, that is the tall plant, and capital T small t, that is another tall plant, but that is heterozygous. Okay, next capital T, that is also tall plant, but it is the homozygous dominant, and next again capital T small t, that is heterozygous tall plant. So the result is tall plant, that is homozygous tall plant, that means capital T, which is 50%, and the heterozygous tall plant, that means capital T small t, that is also 50%. So the result of backcross is 50% homozygous and 50% heterozygous plant. Okay, and in case of test cross, here the cross between tall and dwarf. Okay, so tall plant, that is F1 heterozygous, and that means capital T small t, and dwarf plant, that is homozygous recessive, which means small t small t. Okay, now it is the Punnett square box, where the gametes, that is capital T small t, and the gametes from here, that is small t small t. So now the result is capital T small t, which means the tall plant. What kind of tall it is? Heterozygous tall plant. Now next small t, that is dwarf plant, capital T small t, which is heterozygous tall plant, and small t, which means the dwarf plant. So now the result is tall, that is heterozygous tall, capital T small t, that is 50%, and the dwarf, that is small t, which is homozygous, which is also 50%. So it is the result of test cross. Okay, now come to the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri, after the rediscovery of Mendel laws, described the parallelism between the segregation of chromosomes during meiosis and the behavior of genes during transmission of hereditary characters at the time of gametogenesis. It was based on the following facts. Both the chromosomes and genes are found in pairs in diploid cells. Next, homologous chromosomes separate and gene pairs segregate during meiosis. Next, paired condition of both genes and chromosomes is restored by fertilization. Next, the gametes have only one set of both genes and chromosomes. Next, gametes constitute bridge between successive generations. Okay. So now on the basis of similarities, chromosomal theory. Chromosomal theory of inheritance was proposed by Sutton and Boveri in 1902 independently. So its features are: the somatic cells of an organism which develop from the zygote are all diploid. Next, each diploid cell contains two sets of chromosomes. One set of chromosome is received from mother, that is maternal set, through ovum, and the other set from the father, that is paternal set, through sperm. Okay. Now, the two chromosomes of one type constitute the homologous chromosome pair. Next, the chromosomes retain their structural uniqueness, individuality and continuity throughout the life cycle of an organism. Okay. Okay. Of an organism. Next, each chromosome carries specific determinants or Mendelian factors called genes. These play significant role in the development of an organism from the zygote. Genes are located in the chromosomes in a linear order. Next, the behavior of chromosomes during meiosis at the time of gamete formation provide evidence that genes are located in the chromosomes. This also explains the mechanism of segregation and independent assortment of characteristics at the time of gamete formation. Okay. So now it is the features of chromosomal theory. Now come to the chromosomal explanation of law of segregation. At the time of gamete formation during meiosis, the homologous chromosomes of a pair synapse during early prophase 1 and separate during anaphase 1, producing two haploid daughter cells. In the second meiotic division, the two chromatids of each chromosome of the haploid daughter cell separate and enter the two new daughter cells. These four daughter cells thus formed have one chromosome along with one copy of gene or factor present in it. Next, chromosomal explanation of law of independent assortment. What is it? Here, the independent assortment of two pairs of genes can be explained if two pairs of genes are present on two different pairs of chromosomes. Okay. So now, critical appreciation of Mendel's law. First, law of dominance. The law of dominance and recessiveness states that when two contrasting factors for a character, one present in an individual only are express itself as a character and the other one remains masked. This is called law of dominance. Next, law of segregation. The law of segregation of genes without their admixture in the hybrid was a conception in original but purely theoretical propagated by Mendel. Theoretical propagated by Mendel. It has since been confirmed by cytological studies. It can be described as rare biological generalization. Okay. So now next is law of independent assortment. The law of independent assortment fails to have universal applicability. Cytological studies have revealed that only those allelomorphs assort independently during meiosis which are located in different homologous pairs of chromosomes. If the allelomorphs for two or more different characters are present in the same homologous pair of chromosomes, these are passed on to the same gamete. Law of independent assortment does not apply to such cases. Linkage of genes or characters defies apply to such cases. Linkage of genes or characters defines the independent assortment. Okay. Next, biological importance of Mendelian. So now linkage of genes or characters defines the independent assortment. Okay, now come to the biological importance of Mendelism. Mendel's laws have practical application in plant and animal breeding. So, one is improvement of plant varieties and races. Hybridization and selection are used for obtaining improved varieties of plants which provide high yield and are resistant to disease and adverse climatic conditions. Next, improvement of animal races. Mendel's laws of hybridization techniques have helped animal breeders to develop new and improved varieties of domestic and game animals. Hybridization through artificial insemination has helped in improving cattle races which provide more and better quality milk and meat and better quality of eggs. Improvement of human race. Mendel's law of heredity are equally applicable to mankind, and by the study of family pedigrees, it is possible to provide genetic counseling of the persons of the possibility of appearance of a defective trait in the children. Okay. Next is disputed parentage. Inheritance of blood groups helps in solving the disputed parentage of a child. Okay. Now next is deviation from Mendelism. After the rediscovery of Mendel's laws, hereditary experiments were conducted on large number of animals and plants, and numerous exceptions to Mendelian ratios were observed. These exceptions can be explained by modifying Mendel's laws. These forms This forms post-Mendelian genetics or non-Mendelian genetics. This includes interactions between the alleles of a gene, that is that is interallelic interaction or intragenic interaction, and another one is intergenic interaction or multiple gene inheritance. In post-Mendelian era, genetics have observed complete dominance or partial dominance when two alleles of a pair are not related as dominant and recessive. Codominance when both the alleles of a pair express themselves. Next, multiple factors or interaction of genes when more than one pair of genes interact and influence the same character, such as epistasis and epistasis or inhibiting genes, complementary genes, duplicate genes, multiple alleles, polygenes, inheritance of quantitative characters, pleiotropism, that is multiple effect of a gene. Okay, now now come to the dihybrid cross. Okay, okay, dihybrid cross, what is it? Mendel conducted experiments to study the segregation and transmission of two pairs of contrasting characters at a time. This is called dihybrid cross or two-factor cross. So Mendel conducted experiments to study the segregation and transmission of transmission of two pairs of contrasting characters at a time characters at a time this is called dihybrid cross or two-factor cross. Okay, so again Mendel conducted experiments to study the segregation and transmission of two pairs of contrasting characters at a time. This is called dihybrid cross or two-factor cross. So in that case, yellow round, which is pure, okay, and green wrinkled. Which is also pure. Okay, so now yellow round. Next, that means Y Y R R, and it is small y, smaller, smaller. Okay, so it is the P generation. Okay, now the cross made between them, the gametes. Gametes are capital Y, capital R, and small y, small r. Okay, capital Y, capital R, small r, which means yellow round. Okay, yellow round. It is the F1 generation. Okay, now self fertilization occur between F1 generation okay. So what will happen now? Okay, so now okay, that means here it is all the gametes YR, small y, capital R, and small y, smaller. Here also YR. Okay, so now capital Y, capital Y, capital R, capital R. Okay, now capital Y, capital Y, capital R, small r. Okay, next capital Y, small y, capital R, capital R. Next capital Y, small y, capital R, small r. Okay, now capital Y, capital R, small r. Okay, next capital Y, small r, small r. Next capital Y, small y, capital R, small r. Okay, next capital Y, small r, small r. Okay, next capital Y, small y, capital R, capital R, capital Y, small y, capital R, small r. Next, small y, capital R, capital R. Next, small y, capital R, small r. Okay. Now, capital Y, capital R, smaller. Next, capital Y, smaller, smaller. Next, small y, capital R, smaller. And the last one is small y, smaller, smaller. Okay. So here it is the F2 generation. Okay. So now the phenotypic ratio is round yellow, is to round green is to wrinkle yellow is to wrinkled green equals to 9:3:3:1, 9:3:3:1. Okay, it is the dihybrid cross. Okay, so now bye students.